this video I'm going to show you how quickly and easily you can go into and out of manual mode when you're using IQ, and how I find that very useful. Alright, so down here I've got this little quilt I'm doing. IQ is stitching the sashings, which come here and here. On the fussy cut squares, I'm going to stitch around the edge of the motif. So I need to go out of computer control in order to do that. IQ has finished the first pattern I told it to stitch, and I told it I wanted to cut the threads before it stitches the next one. But I'm not going to cut the threads because now I'm going to stitch the outline of that motif in that square. So in order for me to be able to do that, I need to put IQ into manual mode. When IQ goes into manual mode, the drive wheels lift, which allows me to move the machine. So I'm going to hit realign. Here's my button that says manual mode. When I touch that, you'll hear the motors, you'll hear the drive wheels lift. Okay, now one of my drive motors is under the quilt here. It's underneath there. So the fact that IQ did it automatically meant I didn't have to reach around or anything. IQ did it. My other motor is at the back. The wheels are lifted. Okay, so now I'm going to stitch, but I'm going to move my dial to my regulated stitching, and I'm going to stitch around this motif. Okay, and here I am back at the start. If you look up at the screen, you can see the green crosshairs represent where my needle is, and it's right almost exactly at the start of the next design. So to go back into computer control, the first thing I'm going to do is move my dial so I've got my machine back on constant speed. Finish with manual mode, so I'm going to hit finished, and you'll hear the drive wheels lower. Okay, so now I've got a message that says touch a reference point on the screen. It's going to be here, the start of the next pattern. Okay, continue. Move the needle to the location of that reference point and touch OK. Well, I'm already there, so I don't need to move the machine. So now I can have IQ stitch that next motif. So you can see how useful it is being able to switch from computer control to manual control. It's just a question of touching a couple of buttons and you're in and out. I use it all the time. I'm always moving from the computer to me stitching and back again. With IQ we have no belts to undo or anything, and because I can see on the screen where the needle is, I can instantly check that the pattern is all lined up and ready to go. Okay, so that's a good reason to have the IQ with the quick into and out of manual mode. Okay, on the video I showed going in and out of manual mode, and I showed you that the needle crosshairs were, the green crosshairs were on the screen showing where the needle was. But you may wonder, well, how did IQ know? Because I was in manual mode. This is one of the motors. The drive wheel is underneath the motor, but this is the sensor wheel. This is always riding on the track. This is always turning, and this is what's telling IQ where you are the whole time. And it was that wheel that was showing IQ where the needle was, and it could put the crosshairs on the screen. So even when you're in manual mode, this wheel is turning. It doesn't put any, there's no resistance, no, you don't feel any drag or anything, but that's the thing that tells IQ where it is all the time. So that's how, when you switch from computer control to manual and then back again, you're spot on. The crosshairs are exactly where you are, because that wheel is telling the computer.